And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at All Manor of Evil. This is designed by Travis Chance, and it's actually a reprint of an older game he did where you were thieves stealing from a museum. Now you're stealing from Cthulhu. Frankly, stealing from a museum is a better idea. In this game, players are trying to simultaneously play cards and outthink the other players. Here's how it works. In this game, you're trying to get the most moolah, and you're going to do so by stealing artifacts that are going to be worth various amounts of money. Also, at the beginning of the game, each person's going to get a roll card, maybe a psychologist or a terrible old man, and this guy will score 3 money for each other player that was devoured if an elder god was awakened. So you're trying to get money over the course of the game. Here's the deal. You're also getting madness tokens, and you're going to also get cards that are worth both money and madness. At the end of the game, whoever has the most madness is killed, devoured, and they're dead. Now, the game's going to end one of two ways. There are 2 clocks in a deck. When both clocks come up, the game instantly ends. Whoever's the most madness is devoured, and then we count the most money, and the leftover player with the most money is the winner. If multiple ancient gods waken, you're going to be putting tokens on these gods as the game goes by, and if they get 6 tokens on them, if it happens 2 at the same time, then everybody loses and dies. But if it happens to 1, then that person wakes up. So, for example, here we're playing with Cthulhu, and the player with the least madness is devoured. And there are quite a few gods, and they all have 2 sides. There's even some cards that will let you flip the sides over from game to game. So you always play with 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 blue. So players are trying to, end the game with money, try not to go mad, and try not to get eaten by an elder god. How are they going to do that? Well, there's 4 rooms: attic, basement, foyer, and library. The vault is also playable. You play with it if you play with 5 to 6 players. Each player is going to have a card: pilfer, deceive, study, and inspect. These are numbered from 1 to 4. Each round of the game, everyone's going to pick a card face down and play those cards. If you pick the same card as somebody else, you will take a madness token. Then, starting with the start player, or starting with the person who played number 1, they'll go first, actually. If multiple people pick the same number, then starting from the start player, you take your action. When you do this, you'll do whatever this says. So this, for example, pilfer says, add a madness token to any room in the manor. Boom. Then, you must steal from the foyer or library. We'll steal from the library. It's an elder sign. It's worth 1. It also says that I'm going to be subtracting one of these tokens from one of the gods up there. But I don't need to worry about that because there isn't any. So I take that and I would put it on top of my initial piece of equipment, which is a skeleton key. It's not refilled right away, so it's if someone else was trying to steal from the foyer or library, they would have to take the card from the foyer. Deceive lets you switch the top card of your cache, the cards in front of you, with a relic in the manor. Study lets you lose up to 3 of your insanity tokens. And 4, reveal the top card of the deck, and if it's a relic, you get to keep it. Yay! Add or remove a token, but you don't get to use a special ability on it. You only get to use a special ability when you steal it. There is all sorts of different abilities in here. Some of them, the Necromonicon, here gives you points equal to your madness tokens. A lot of madness, this can be worth a lot of points. But again, if you have too much madness, you'll lose the game. And really, the vault, anybody can steal from the vault, but every time you do, though, you add a new card there, and you put a madness token on top of it. Many of the cards that you take are going to be adding tokens to these guys. Some will flip them over, and they'll do different things. There's all sorts of stuff that's going to go on, but eventually the game is going to end one of the different ways. That's it. Most money wins, unless, of course, you went mad. Okay, the components for the game are really well done. I mean, for the most part. The card quality is fine. The artwork is very, very dark, which I guess you're expecting for a Cthulhu game. The symbology is pretty easy. My biggest complaint would be the different things here. For example, when you take a Forbidden Tome, you will get 2 madness. And when you take the Warding Stone, you will lose 1 madness. The minus and the plus there are very difficult to see. So that would be my biggest complaint about that. I think that's even more of a problem. There's just a lot of different art on these cards. It's not necessarily easy to... The text is not always easy to read. The text on these cards I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of how this whole thing's laid out. And the tokens themselves are kind of blah. Now I have, replacement tokens here that you can use, and so that works well. But while the graphic design is very, very dark and very, very Cthulhu-y, and especially, amongst all these different elder gods, I mean, this isn't my friendly little Cthulhu, but at the same time, sometimes I wish the stuff here was a little easier to read. At the end of the day, this is kind of a take-that game. You're constantly messing with each other, but you're also trying to outthink each other. I'm a big fan of playing a card face down, flipping it, and trying to play a different card than everybody else. Now, in this game, when you play a card, you flip it, then you have to leave that card in front of you and you pick another card. So there's only 3 different choices you can have, but if I see that everyone else has played their 3 card last time, I know I can play mine faithfully this time. So here's the kind of the mix. I like this game a lot. Honestly, I like it less without the Cthulhu theme. I think Cthulhu's overdone, but if you like Cthulhu, you like horror, you will enjoy this. I like the original Thief theme better. I also like the design of it. This one is that horror, but it's kind of there at the expense of readable stuff. It's not the end of the world. The game's still easy to play, and I still really do enjoy it. I like the concept of most madness at the end, you lose. That part works thematically. I like the idea of the Elder Gods maybe messing with the rules a bit, and that's enjoyable too. So you're kind of trying to get the other player. Sometimes you're forced to steal something you really don't want. You're constantly trying to gauge how much madness you're willing to take. You want to push that madness up and get a lot of stuff, but not go too far. As long as Susan takes a little bit more madness than you're fine. At the end of the day, even though it has this horror theme, it is silly fun. The game does not take long. We're talking 30, 40 minutes. It's back and forth, flip cards, and take the actions. And I like it. I would probably like it even more without the Cthulhu theme. But at the end of the day, I know that people really enjoy Cthulhu for whatever reason. So that's all Manor of Evil, a game in which you're trying to outthink other people while staying sane. I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching The Dice Tower. Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.